Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orphan Last, and by some terrible mishap, and it's 100% my fault, I have lost most of the levels on this animation. And it was actually while I was trying to create a tutorial for you guys. And so I'm having to redo a bunch of stuff. So first of all, you know what? This gives me the opportunity to kind of discuss a few things. Like, I'm going to specifically go into talking about the selection tool, and I'm going to be having some dedicated videos to talking about what you can do with the selection tool. So first of all, when you first get Opentoonz, it's set to, let's see here, it's set to rectangle. Okay. Now, whenever you get a tool, always look at your tool options panel. It may not be on the top of the screen. It all depends on how you've customized it. But always look at when you're using a tool that you're not familiar with. Always immediately go up here and kind of think about what it is that you want to have done with it. Okay, now from this point to this point, I have no idea what it's talking about. But from here to here, I know exactly what it's talking about. So like if I were to select, okay, let me go ahead and talk about finish talking about this. I personally like using freehand. If I use polyline, you know, it has like this feature where I can just tap on the mouse or on my stylus, and you see, once I'm done with it, I don't just join it up with the end. I have to double tap. Problem is, if I wind up triple tapping, I wind up losing it. And sometimes while I'm midway towards finishing my selection, it finishes itself because I'm not meaning to. Like I can, yeah, see, like I can sometimes like just keep on tapping and then have it just go. Yeah, see right there, like if you're trying to be speedy, it's not very productive. So I like just using freehand and selecting it. Okay, and one thing that you should know with the selection tool is if you try to just select, like if you try to do that, it's not going to work. You have to select the entire stroke, if that makes sense. So like here, it doesn't work. But if I select that entire stroke, it will work. So like I can go like this, and well, why did it work like that? Okay, I can go like that, and notice how it didn't. Oh gosh, notice how it didn't select any of this, and it didn't select any of the neck, and that's the reason why. Okay, you can rotate this by going like that, like just bring it up to the upper corner until you see the mouse cursor kind of change, and you just, there you have it, like done deal. And so that's pretty handy. Let me go here. Why is it working like that? Number 8. Oh, okay, I didn't put it in the X sheet. Also, when you're editing in the X sheet, for some reason when you select something inside of the level strip, it doesn't have this. But once you're in the X sheet and you select something, you can actually move this little circle that appears in the center, and you can put it in the corner, and it will rotate with that being its axis, if that makes sense. So if I were to put this here and rotate it from the same side, I just changed its axis. Okay. Another thing, if you know exactly what angle you want to change it at, you can like go ahead and go, let's say 90 degrees. Okay, so it moved a whole 90 degrees immediately. I don't see me ever using this feature, ever. But one thing that I have used is horizontal and vertical. Like if I want to flip this hand, this arm, I can go negative 100 and it flips. Same thing with vertical. Negative 100, there you have it. Also, let's say I want to do this, just, you know, like shrink it or something. I go to the vertical, and I can just go ahead and type in something like, I don't know, 30, and it shrunk it. See? So that's pretty handy as well. And same thing with horizontal. It works the exact same way. Now, preserve line thickness, okay? Now, if you watch some of the old Family Guy episodes, like the first season, maybe the first 2 or 3, a lot of times the camera would zoom in and the lines would get thicker, and it looked really terrible. And the reason why is because Adobe Flash doesn't have an actual camera feature, or at least it didn't have an actual camera feature like how Opentoonz has. So what they have to do back is they'd have to basically blow up every image in the scene like that in order to get it to zoom in. Now, when I do that, if you notice, all the line thicknesses are all the same. The lines aren't getting thicker. But if I go ahead and tick that off, press Shift, and then make it bigger so that all the dimensions of this thing remain the same, and let off, notice how the lines got thicker. So let me do this one more time, okay? Let me actually go ahead and make the selection. Control C, Control V. Okay, so I have 2 of them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and select this one and make it bigger. Okay, and that's it without the line thickness preserved. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing and make it bigger. Notice the difference? The lines got thicker when the line thickness wasn't preserved, and the lines remained the same. So if I were to be doing a zoom in feature, like if I were to zoom in with the camera in this sort of way, or if I wanted to use a character and make him bigger for a different scene, using some of the same drawings or some of the same animations on variously different levels, which Opentoonz totally allows you to do, I could just go ahead and just put those drawings into the X sheet, blow them up to be much larger, and then I could go ahead and pull out my brush tool, and I could go ahead and add in a bunch of other little details that might make it look better. I can go ahead and pull out the control point editor and like really refine things to look a little bit more detailed, because like people are going to get a much better close-up look to it, and all that stuff. So this is all some really useful things to consider while you're doing all this. So let me go ahead and press Control Z a bunch of times. Okay. Okay, yeah, so there we have it. Let me go ahead and put it back in here. So all I want to do is bring his arm up here. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. All right, so let's see. So I just go ahead and go like that, and then all I need to do now is just change how his hand looks and such like that. Yeah. Okay, so I've gone ahead and drawn a rough draft of this hand. Let me go ahead and use the selection tool real quick, because there's things that I don't like about it. There's things that I can do while editing, while I'm drawing, and I can go ahead and press Shift and just keep on selecting a bunch of different things. Oops, Control Z. Let me go ahead and select this one temporarily, just because it'll make it easier on everything. And I can go ahead and just kind of move things around, make things bigger, make things smaller. This is the pinky finger, so it doesn't need to be necessarily that big. And there we have it. So that looks good for a rough draft of that hand. Yeah. Anyways, that pretty much concludes it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. And please like, share, and subscribe. Please refer the news to everybody. Please refer my channel. It'd be really nice to get the word out about Opentoonz and get the community talking again. In my video descriptions, I leave a link to a Discord chat where other animators talk. Feel free to join.